I think I've gone to record this about 6,000 times. I tried to film it on the roof. That was a fail. And I tried to film it in my room. Fail. My battery kept dying. I kept losing connection. I don't know how to freaking edit this. So here we are, finally. Hi, guys. This is the first of many. I'm going to keep this intro really short and sweet because I cannot stand long intros. But we're gonna just dive right into it. So today I am here in New York. I just recently moved. It's been such a chaotic month. I feel like I've learned so much though, so many different ways, but it's been quite a challenge. But I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be alive. I'm so excited to be doing what I love and be able to get this started for you guys. So today we're talking about something that has been a bit heavy on my heart lately. Something that I think everyone has experienced at some point in their life, but I feel like over the past couple of years this has been something that's been really prominent in my life, and something that I think over the past couple months I've realized what it is. So today we're going to be talking about the difference between limerence and love. If you don't know what limerence is, go look it up. You've probably seen it on TikTok, social media, all over, of kind of what it is. But I kind of want to dive into today the difference between love and limerence. So to start out, I want to kind of talk about how the media portrays love and then talk about the definition of limerence. So today in our society, love in social media, in movies, in music is this, I want to say, huge plot. It's this huge romantic story of longing and dread and sadness and all these different things because it's love. You know, and I think even it's been like that for centuries in books and in media, just in media in general, that love is this tragic thing that breaks you and shapes you and blah, 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 blah. And I think my controversial opinion has changed over the past year of what love actually is. So the media portrays love as this crazy, unattainable dream that you are trying to chase and that you'll never have. And if you do have it, hold on to it because whatever. All this stuff. But I genuinely completely disagree with it. Call me crazy, come for me. If we are walking around with that mentality, we lose the sauce. We lose the purpose of life and the purpose of love. So I kind of want to go into the definition of limerence, and I want you to picture in your mind what exactly you think love is. Like, fully view what you think love is, have all of your reasons of what it is, and then I'm going to start to describe limerence to you. So this is the Google definition of it. Intense emotional longing. Limerence is a state of being infected or obsessed with another person, typically characterized by intrusive thoughts, idealization, emotional dependency. Now, I want you to think about all those things that you probably listed as what you view as love, and I kind of want you to deconstruct them a little bit. What is it exactly? So if you're saying you probably think the feeling that you can't live without them. That's probably one of the things you said, maybe not, but you probably said that. That's called emotional dependency. Or you think the world of them. You think that they're all of this. That's idealization of who they are. So this is what I'm saying. The media completely misconstrues what love actually is. Completely. It is completely false. It is a beautiful little package of limerence. So everything you see online, everything you hear in music creates us to believe a horribly toxic mentality centered around dating and love. Period. That should not be the case at all when it comes to that. At all. So now I want you to also think about we all have people in our life that we have, the one that got away, we have someone that we will always think about, yada yada. We all have those people. I want you to think about that one person that is like that chemically altered your brain and changed your life. I want you to think about them. And I want you to start to think about all the things that you loved about them. What is it about them that you liked? What is it about them that you saw was good? Or what about their relationship that's good? Or maybe you're still in that relationship. And I want you to like literally list it off in your mind or on a piece of paper even. And I want you to recognize most of the time when we say we love somebody, we're starting to say what they can give us. So what I'm betting you did, and this is what I did when I wrote down all the things about someone that I thought I loved or cared about. And this has happened with multiple people multiple times, but it's like what they can give to you. So I love the way they make me feel. I love the way they look at me. I love the way they motivate me. I love the way all these things, you'll start to notice they're all things that person can give you. So they're very selfish reasons to be loved. So it's not genuine love for that person. It's loving what they offer you. And I think something that is completely completely disregarded is that most of the time we recognize love as the feeling of being seen, as the feeling of being wanted. And that's because we, for a large part of our life, have felt there's a part of us that's missing. And when someone comes and validates that part of us, we feel like it's healing us or that it makes us happy or they're making us happy. No one should ever make you happy. You should be completely content and happy on your own. That person is supposed to make your life just improve. It shouldn't be your source of happiness. It should be an addition to your happiness. You should never rely on anyone or anything to be happy. Why is it that we need that to be filled? And how do we fix that? How do we go from there? So like recognizing is obviously the biggest thing of being like, oh, do I just care about that person because they offer me something, or do I care about them genuinely? And if it is because they offer you something, you need to start to analyze what exactly is that they are fulfilling. So what I've seen in my life is, what is this person healing in me that I feel like I can't do on my own? And it's pretty easy to clock. You can go down, you can be like, okay, I like all these things about them. Oh, that's because I am severely starving myself from that for myself. But everything a partner can give you, you can give yourself. That's the purpose of a partner, is not someone to fix all your problems. It's someone to make your life more joyous. So once you can recognize what those things are, you can start to, in your day-to-day, do those things for yourself. Start to show up for yourself in the ways that you didn't know you could. And you'll start to recognize that your life is actually super, super awesome without somebody. You don't need somebody. You can't, if you have to have somebody and you need them to exist and you spend your days longing for them, that's not love. That is literally limerence. That is literally what the media is pushing you to think, because it creates a toxic mentality in our minds that we literally live for somebody. We literally live for love, when that should not be what you're doing. If your mind is mostly filled with somebody, that is so unhealthy. There is so many beautiful things in this world that our mind should be filled with. And if it is about somebody, what are you doing? No, that is not what life's about. Life is so beautiful. And if it's solely to live for somebody, you're missing out on the fruits of life. And it's a hard thing to kind of understand, because it's like, well, I want to have that beautiful story and that beautiful thing. That you can't, but that isn't the reason for living. If all you want in your life is to be loved or to love, you need to make more of your life. You need to find bigger goals, because that isn't the reason for living. So this is obviously all my opinion, but I feel like I've seen the people in my life that live for love be extremely unhappy. And honestly are not that interesting. If you are literally all you're thinking about is loving and being in love and having this crazy love story, you're so boring. Like, go get a hobby. Go play croquet or crochet or something. Like, go get a hobby, dude. So I think that is like the biggest thing is like, we are so much more than the love we give somebody or the love we receive. And if we are solely living for that, we gotta find bigger and better things. I'm telling you, life is so awesome. And if we are missing out on those things, life sucks. So now I want to give you guys the definition of love. This is Google definition. Love is a deep, enduring emotional connection marked by care, trust, affection, commitment toward another person. It's not just a feeling, but also a choice and action to value and support and understand someone even when emotions fluctuate. Boom. Boom. Like I said, it's not this longing, it's not a deep feeling that we have to endure. It's a choice. It's us showing up for somebody because we want to. Love shouldn't be complicated in any way. And like I said, the media pushes something else. This is what I believe. It should not be complicated. Love should be so simple. And it's like example, the way you know if the relationship is good and love is good is, do you think about them as much as you think about your best friend? Or your siblings, if you have a good relationship with your family? How often are you thinking about this person? If you live and breathe them, red flag. Run. You should not be obsessed with them. Obviously, you need to be attracted to them, and you need to crave them, and you need all that good stuff, but also, if your mind only thinks about them, you're doing something wrong. Love is a choice. Love is something that you show up for somebody every day because you care about them deeply and love them. But if you guys break up, it's not the end of the world. Not because you didn't care about them or because you didn't love them, because if you do break up, which I pray you don't, if you do break up, it's not because of lack of love or lack of trust or lack of anything like that. It's because you guys aren't compatible. It's because they need to pursue a different future that makes them happy and you as well. And so if you break up, it shouldn't be torture. It should be simple. Obviously, it's not easy. Breakups aren't easy. They're not simple and they suck and it's hard and it feels like you're losing a best friend, but it's like, it shouldn't be torture because you know that they're happy and they're pursuing something great and they have a life already that they're doing great things with. And same for you. You shouldn't feel like you lost your arm when you break up with someone. That is limerence. Point blank, period. That is limerence. Love is something that is deep. And it's so much deeper than this media pushed agenda of what it is. It is so much deeper than that. And it is a choice and an action and a verb. It is not a longing and a craving and a media eyes, I don't know if that's a word, of what it is. So it's completely different. And love is something good. I don't know who is making it. Actually, no, I do. I don't know why we are making it out to be this horrible, like, impossible, unattainable thing when it's simple. You pick who you love, you choose to love them with their flaws, with their good, and you build a life together. Period. That's it. And you're able through that to know them deeply, to understand them deeply. And maybe this is another hot take and this is me just yapping, but I also don't believe in love at first sight. At all. I don't believe you can see someone and love them. You can see someone and be attracted to them. You can see someone and have great chemistry. I think it is a hoax because to love somebody fully, completely and deeply, you have to know them. You have to know their soul. You have to know what they like about life, what they hate about life. You have to know their good and bad. You cannot love someone in a month. You will spend your entire life getting to know someone. We have so many days and moments in our life that you just cannot learn in an afternoon or at first sight. So very strongly disagree with that. So, and like I said, it's just the media pushes this agenda that is just categorically untrue. How do you find this person? How do you become the person that you want to date? How do you become that person that finds those kind of people? It's simple, really. And I think that it starts with you understanding yourself completely deeply, completely understand everything about yourself. You also need to learn how to completely be alone. And those are things that are things we hear a lot, but it's true. If you can't be alone, you will look for validation in everyone. You will look for validation in everything. So learn how to be alone. It's not easy to learn how to be alone. It's actually incredibly difficult. If you can't sit with yourself for hours or be bored or know what makes you mad, what makes you upset, how can you show up in a relationship? If you don't understand, so learning how to be alone and then furthering that is understanding yourself. And the caveat with that, you can't fully understand yourself until you are in a relationship. So until you are like dating somebody, you start to see all the bad qualities you have in them and reflected in the relationship. So example, I used to actually be awful at communicating, like awful at communicating. I'm still working on it. It's still work in progress, but I literally like could not even verbalize what I was thinking at all. I have 1,010,000,000 thoughts going through my head, but I couldn't even say it. And not only could I not verbalize it, I was not brave enough to verbalize it. So, but I couldn't have figured that out unless I was in a relationship, unless I was in multiple, you know? And so you can't figure out a lot of things about you until you are in a relationship. So when I say learn how to be alone, don't self-isolate, don't hide from the world, because sometimes that's worse, because sometimes you don't have the opportunity to grow and you think, oh, I'm healed and I'm all that, but you're just isolating yourself and you're not having any human connection. So learning how to be alone is just doing things alone, learning yourself, putting yourself in situations. You can learn all of those things with friends, with family, with people in your life. You can learn why you're stuck at communicating or why you're avoidant or why you're anxious, whatever. You can figure out all those things with the friends and people around you. You don't have to be in a relationship, but if you are in a relationship, it's easy to see those things more quickly. So the biggest thing is understanding who you are, having the self-awareness to recognize where you fall short, and then working on it actively. It's not going to be overnight that you heal from that. Another thing too, before you are able to fully dive into a new relationship with anybody, you need to be completely healed from your last one. I mean, you should not be thinking about anybody else at all for months before you start dating someone else. And I know that if you have had a limerence situation with someone, that doesn't take overnight to get over. And to get over that is actually insanely painful and does not take overnight. And you shouldn't beat yourself up because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still thinking about this person. Why? What I want to say to that is, it's hard. It's going to be extremely hard. It's going to be a journey, but you should not beat yourself up because you have allowed this person to take retail in your mind. You shouldn't beat yourself up about it. It sucks. It's so hard, especially if they've stayed in your mind for a long time and have taken up a lot of space. It's hard to figure out what to think about without thinking about them, because you literally cannot function without the thought of them. So with that, and I'm kind of sidetracking here on what I was originally saying, but with that, you need to figure out how that person is inflicting your life, how that person shows up in every single day. And it's actually really sickening sometimes at how often those type of connections show up in your day-to-day and how much it affects you and how much it alters your actions because of that person. And it's the weirdest thing, but it's so prevalent. So if you've had that kind of experience with someone, if there's someone in your life that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't why can't I kick them? Why am I always thinking about them? It's not love. Ding, 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 ding. It's not love. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. It's not love. You need to figure out how to let them go. It is a vice in your mind. It is eating away any potential you have, because that time you spend thinking about somebody should be time dedicated to your goals, to your current relationships, to your passions. It should not be thinking about something that is, one, unattainable, and two, literally damaging your brain. You're losing brain cells by doing that. So you need to start to let it go. It's so much harder than it sounds, but you have to allow yourself. The biggest step with that is allowing yourself to let that person go and choosing it. It is not something that in 5-10 years you're going to wake up one day and they're going to be out of your mind. No, unless you make a choice right now to actively let that person go, you will still be thinking about them in 10-20 years. I guarantee it. I guarantee you will still be thinking about them. So I think the biggest thing is to, one, start actively recognizing when you think about them. Start actively recognizing when you check up on them. Start actively recognizing it. Don't change it. Don't try to stop. Recognize it. That is the biggest thing. And for a couple weeks, recognize when you are thinking about them, when they are eating at your mind. And then once you kind of have recognized when you are thinking about them, start to change it to replacing the thought of them with something that is serving you. It could be anything. It could be the book you're reading. It could be the movie you're watching. It could be something you're working on. It could be work. It could be friends. Literally anything else. Slowly recognize when you're thinking about them and change the thought when you're aware of it. And then slowly over time, and this is not a couple days, this is not a couple weeks, this is like, it could be years, to where you'll finally stop to fall back on them. But you can't just one day wake up and stop thinking about them. That will never happen. You've spent so much time just like they're just eating away at your mind, so you don't know how to think without them. So you have to, one, recognize it, two, replace it, and three, let it fade away over time. So that is the biggest thing to be able to find someone new, is to let go of anybody that has been in your past and forgive them and choose to actively pursue someone that is aligned with you. The last thing I'd say to that too is, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but be who you want to date. My dad always tells me this: be who you want to date. Okay, so what do you mean? Write down all the things you see in somebody and start to show up as that person. Show up in all the ways that you would want them to show up. Obviously, like, if you're, one of the things is like be masculine and you're a woman, like, obviously not, but look on the opposite side of it is, if I want a masculine man, I need to be a feminine woman. And start to show up in the ways you would want your partner to show up. And honestly, when you write it down, it's humbling as hell, because you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh, actually I'm none of those things. And so how can we expect to be in a relationship with someone that we like, that are completely out of our league? I'm not saying that you're not good, awesome, dope person that has a lot of qualities, good qualities. I'm saying, like, if you do want that top tier person, you need to be that top tier person. You need to lock in, you need to show up as that person, and you need to become that. Also, you don't want to be with a person that's thinking about someone that was in limerence. You don't want to be with someone who's thinking about their ex. You don't want to be with someone no, you don't deserve that. And neither does your future spouse. Neither does your future partner. So let go of that person. Actively choose to let that person go, or people, or multiple people go, and show up for yourself. Be the person that you would want to date, and actively choose the lifestyle you want to live. It's obviously easier said than done, but it's not impossible. People make it seem like it's literally impossible. It's not. Love is not impossible. Showing up and being the best version of yourself is not impossible. It's not unattainable. It's not out of this world, something you can't achieve. It is 1,000% possible, and you can 1,000% do it. So stop trying to hold on to the idea of somebody else. Let them go and go pursue the life that you are meant to live, and the person that is meant to be in your life will fall into place perfectly. So, and you will be in love with them, and it will not be limerence, and it will be great, and you will be happy, and you'll be pursuing goals that make you happy, and you won't have someone corrupting your mind. Think about it. Think about all the brain space you will have when the love that you share with somebody is not the only reason for life. Think about how much time you have, how much other things you have to think about, how many books and movies you could watch. Like, think about it. It's insane. Love should not be complicated. Love should be simple and feel good and not be anything but good. So that's my tidbit on that. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm so glad you are. Please subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, I'm going to be doing these more. I really like them. I really like yapping. I actually, and not to continue making you listen when you don't want to, if you can click off, but I record like voice memos on my phone all the time just to rant. So I think that this is going to be therapeutic for me to just rant, let it out. But anyway, this has been something that's been really heavy on my mind the past years, and I really hope that you take this seriously and start to implement it in your life. If you start to do all the things that I'm saying, please come back to this video and comment. I would love to hear how it is changing your life and if it is affecting your life in any good, in a positive way. Hopefully not a bad way. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys, or listening. I will see you guys soon. That was me blowing a kiss, by the way. Okay, bye.